right. Yeah, somebody is not muted, and that was Schwaber. There we go. I got you. So let's start again. All right, here we are in the Sports Porch Black and Gold. Thanks for being here, guys. We are live all over the world. I was going to say all over the YouTube. We're live all over the YouTube
world. Yeah, YouTube is all over the world.
Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X. And of course, we're going to drop this podcast right after the show on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcast. So thanks for being here, guys. We got a ton of stuff to talk about. We got a huge show to do for you. It's going to be huge. It's huge. Can you do that, Schwaber? Can you do a Trump accent? Huge.
No, I can't. And why
Really?
do you keep saying the word huge? It's got me concerned.
I don't know. Well, I'm not looking at you, that's for sure. Anyway, it was that photo of Elias, who is huge.
Yes, that must have been it.
Yeah. So
you're talking about a photo of a male.
Yeah, that's right. Of course.
Yeah.
And one last thing that I forget all the time. You can always listen to us live on our sister radio station, Radio PGH. I dropped that link in the comments on all the platforms. Bookmark that link. Listen to Radio PGH any chance you get. We do off the grid marathons on Fridays and Sundays. Season 1 and 2. Season 3 is coming soon as a marathon. And Mark and I will be recording the next season of Off the Grid Uncommon Grounds next weekend. There you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but let's talk about what people really want to talk about right now.
Yeah.
Stillers.
And no, it's the Buccos Report. We're going to go there first.
Well,
Yes, we're going to go to the Buccos
There
Report.
actually is a legitimate reason to talk about the Pirates this week.
Absolutely there is. Paul Skenes, Jared Jones, Mitch Keller.
No. Paul Skenes.
Oh, well, I know.
Stop there.
I know. I get it.
I always want to say schemes. I always want to put an M for the end.
Is he scheming? Paul scheming?
No, he's not.
He needs to work on his acne. He needs proactive.
You're right. But will the Pirates nut up and get us some hitting? You know?
No, that was easy. Yeah. And let's move on to the Steelers.
Yeah, no, not at all. Have you seen a more filthy delivery of a fastball than Paul Skenes in your life? Let's answer that question first. Forget about the noise.
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah,
really?
I have.
Yeah.
Who?
Nolan Ryan, when he came out, man, he was a fireball.
No way, man. He was all over the map. His first couple years, he was so wild. The Mets released
I'm talking about when he was in his heyday.
Okay.
I'm sensing another Hall of Fame prediction here.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Randy Johnson, he was pretty good.
Yeah, Randy
he was good, but not as good as
Roger Clemens was pretty
steroids.
good.
Steroids.
Oh,
I'm using your
I know a
measuring
guy,
stick.
I know a guy who struck out 20 like in his second start, and his name was Kerry Wood.
Right.
You know,
he's better than Kerry Wood.
Well, that wasn't my question.
He just got hurt.
That wasn't my question. My question was, have you seen a more filthy pitch?
Yeah, I just told you who.
Yeah,
I mean, after
we
watching,
just named 3 or 4 pitchers. I mean, they're all Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
pitchers.
right.
After watching the
hey, Lauren.
Yes, we've just been delivered the Trader Joe's product of the week, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Thank you.
Now we have to wait.
There she is.
Put something over that. Keep it warm.
Okay, so the question I'm getting at is,
but I mean, a Pittsburgh.
I mean,
Pirate,
come on.
No, it's a huge, as you like to use the word,
huge
overreaction.
You think so?
Yeah, it was an amazing start. Congrats to him.
Well, it was an amazing second start.
Yeah. Struck out the first 7 batters, 1 walk, 11 Ks, 6 innings of no hit ball. Phenomenal work. Mm-hmm. But, come on now. Let's not call his delivery the best of all time.
Well, I didn't say it was the best of all time. I was asking you if you have if you have seen a filthier pitch than that fastball.
I haven't seen a filthier pitch from a Pittsburgh Pirate in his second start.
Okay.
Jesus.
I'm just never going to, I'm not going to get anywhere with you guys, am I? I'm really not.
I mean, he is very good.
He's very good.
Yeah.
And he's something worth getting excited over.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's probably worth taking off Thursday afternoon, going down the PNC and watching him pitch live.
Yeah.
Probably is.
Probably is.
I have 35
to
start.
Yeah. See, I mean, and from the guy who gave up baseball, like he knows their schedule by heart now.
Well, everybody knows when Skenes is going to be starting now from now till the end of the year.
Because it's must-watch TV.
I bet you there's a website that will say predicting Skenes' next start, so you can start buying the tickets now.
Yeah, right. I have to tell you
I didn't start it, by the way.
I have to tell you that when I watched the clips of those seven. Now, you also have to remember in his first game, he did strike out 6. And he looked pretty damn good there too.
I'm gonna send you random highlights of major league pitchers striking out 10 batters in a game and see if you think it's the best delivery you've ever seen.
Go right ahead. No, I think his fastball, the movement on that at the end of the pitch is some of the filthiest movement I've seen on a pitch in a long, we'll just say in a long time. In a long time. My question is, when it comes to that, because you guys have already answered my first question, is can he keep that up? Because his delivery to me looks a little short. And it looks to me like he throws more with his arm and his shoulder than extends with his legs. Now, I could be off. I'm not a pitching coach, but I understand how.
But you did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
I did. But you're killing me, Schwab. You're killing me. He warms up in the Philly show and then just brings it.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So I that does concern me. I mean, what do you guys think about that? In all seriousness, did you notice that? Because that stuck out to me right away. I was like, oh, his delivery is a little short. Maybe it was nerves still, but you can't throw 100 miles an hour. What did he have? Like 7 pitches, 100 miles an hour in the first inning alone, something like that.
I thought it was more impressive that his 100th pitch was over 100 miles per hour.
Yeah. But my point is, did you notice that in his delivery? Because I noticed it. I thought that looks like arm trouble down the road.
Honestly, I haven't looked at his delivery much at all. I just know that he throws 100, and it's hard to hit.
Yeah, right. But good analysis.
And that's good.
That's excellent.
That's good.
I just think there are some pitchers who have such strength in their arm.
Right.
Like, their whole body is compensated at this point in their life.
Right.
Like the question is when he starts, when they go back to the 5-man rotation or whatever that is.
They're there now.
So can he sustain that over a season?
Yeah.
And we won't know that until September. And by that time, the Pirates will probably be out of it and they'll probably just shut him down. So we probably won't even know until next year.
I think the chances are pretty good, though, because he threw a lot in college.
Yeah.
And that there were some, there were actually people, I think, at the end of the LSU season last year that thought that it was like criminal to pitch him as much as they did because they thought it wasn't fair for his career.
Right.
But I kind of look at it and I say he pitched those innings and he pitched them darn well and he's still pitching darn well.
Yeah.
So, why can't he be one of those old school guys? We don't know that until we know that.
I think anybody could be one of those old school guys. Yeah. I think we don't know who those guys are because they just don't treat pitchers that way anymore.
Right.
No, he had a no-hitter and they took him out.
Yeah.
So that's just going to be the way it goes. That's the way it is now.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? His second start, he's pretty much cruising through 6 innings.
Well, it was 100 pitches.
I get it. I totally get it. I'm just saying, how do you feel about that? Would you have left him in? Just for the sake of, look, you got a no-hitter. I mean, to me, no-hitters used to mean everything in baseball. Now it's kind of like they don't really mean anything.
Here's why I would have kept him in. They were up like 9-0. So
8-0.
Yeah. So what does it hurt to keep him in, other than he might end up throwing 130 pitches? But if he gets a no-hitter, then everybody in Major League Baseball takes notice.
Right.
They're taking notice anyways, but it becomes the highlight of the first half of the season.
Right.
And the Pirates are there. Like, wouldn't you rather have that than say, oh, well, we saved him from 30 pitches this year? And you know what? If he got hit on the first batter in,
you take him out. Yeah, you take him out on the first hit.
He's out.
Yeah, take him out.
No big deal.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, good job, one hitter. You're going to get your first Major League Baseball win. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way I would have treated it. But the Pirates don't think like that. The Pirates they're always thinking about the future. They're never thinking that the future is here.
Yeah.
Right.
So just like now that they have actually have a Major League Baseball starting rotation, they won't think about going out and getting a hitter. They'll think about who they can bring up from the minor leagues who's better than Rowdy Tellez.
Yeah, I know.
And it's garbage.
It's got to be somebody better than Rowdy Tellez.
They should be thinking about who they can go out and buy for 15 or 20 million to replace the designated hitter and the first baseman.
Yeah.
But they don't think like that, and they'll never think like that, which is why I think we should move on from the Pirates.
Yeah, Brian Reynolds is batting a blistering 254, 48 games into the season or whatever they are. Connor Joe is leading the club at 280. You know, his OPS is 826, which is not bad. So he's having a career year. This is Connor Joe having a career year.
Yep.
You know, they recently brought Nick Gonzalez back, and, you know, he's doing okay, 265. O'Neal Cruz he's cooled off as of late, 62 strikeouts. You know, Brian Hayes is still out. What a disappointment. I mean, we can go right down the list. Kutch is batting 216, you know.
And that's been high for him.
Yeah, I know. It's like he's on a tear. And here we are,
Right.
Poor Jack Sawinski with, you know, now only 38 strikeouts for him is a positive. But, you know, his OPS is 562.
Can you really say anything as a positive when you're hitting 173?
No, you actually can't.
No,
I agree with you.
There are no positives.
Yeah,
there.
I'm just I'm going on a micro level. I mean, I'm just trying to help him.
That's like saying like he had a couple good hacks the other day.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, this is what is all over the news is how fantastic the Pirates rotation looks right now between Skenes, Jones, and Keller filling that number 3 role. Exactly what we talked about last year. Mitch Keller is a very good number 3 starter.
That's what he's right where he should be.
Yeah. And so, you know, kudos, you figured something out. Okay. And now you figured out that Paul Skenes so far is as advertised, and Jared Jones learned how to pitch at the major league level, and he's got the same attitude Skenes does. I did love the interview with Skenes where the reporter said to him, you know, you've gotten off to a great start. It's been really, really hyped. It's really fantastic. But, you know, how do you feel about the fact that, you know, as the weeks progress and you get more starts, that the major league hitters are going to kind of come around and start to adjust to you and make adjustments? His answer was, well, you know, I mean, they can adjust if they want. Good luck. That's exactly what he said.
That's good. I like that response.
Absolutely. So the attitude is there. This is all great, and everybody's getting excited about now. But I refer back to my rant last week, and I agree 100% with Steve on this, and I know you feel the same way. They aren't going to do jack shit. What they've realized is what they've always wanted, which is we got a guy who's going to draw people to the ballpark every 5th night. And Jared Jones is drawing people to the ballpark now every 5th night. It's money. And, oh, you know what? This lineup, it's not going to be horrible all year.
It is.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it might be. Yeah.
Is.
Yeah. So, you know, as far as at 22 and 26, I kept hearing today all day long, 2 games out of the wild card, 2 games out of the wild card. Well, look, if the wild card round was starting next week and we had 3 games left, I'd say there's a decent shot we could win 3 in a row and somebody could lose 2 and we'll hop them. But Jesus, we got 120 games left.
Know, there's always teams that just take off in the second half too, or take off in June or July, and all of a sudden by the end of the year they got 90 wins.
I know. I mean, with this lineup, it's actually it could end up being a big shame because you know Skenes is going to pitch his heart out, and he's probably going to lose a bunch of 3-2 and 2-1 ball games where he pitched for 6 innings and struck out 8 guys, maybe gave up a home run because if somebody squares up on one of his pitches, it's going to go a long way.
Probably.
But other than that, I mean, what are you getting out of this? I mean, seriously.
Well, here's the thing. The Pittsburgh Pirates could double their salary, and guess where they would be ranked in Major League Baseball?
Right in the middle of the pack.
Last or second to last?
14th in the
middle.
league if they doubled their salary.
Yeah.
So if they went out and spent $85 million on hitters this year, they would still be middle of the pack. And guess what? they probably have a pretty good chance at making the playoffs in this crappy division.
Probably,
but they'll never do that, and that's what's so crazy about this franchise. They have it right in front of them right now. They've got these 3 pitchers signed for the next 2 or 3 years, and they're gonna friggin' ruin it. They're going to absolutely run them into the ground, and they're going to say, well, Sawinski's going to get better, this, that, and the other thing. They're dumb. And that's why I just have no faith with them. But we should enjoy Skenes.
Might be a good time to transition to the Grand Schwabini.
All right.
Mark's tired of talking about the Pirates.
No, it's because it's a Pirates prediction.
All right, so let's transition right now to the Grand Schwabini predicts.
The Grand Schwabini is going to predict, now that the roster is basically set with the big boy in the lineup or on the pitching mound, the Grand Schwabini will predict the final record for your Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh.
The final record is 76 and 86, the exact same record as last year.
Wah, wah, wah.
Better pitching, worse hitting. It all evens out. The Grand Schwabini knows, and the Grand Schwabini says, I'm sorry.
What do you think about that?
I think he's right on. I think that maybe it might be no, I think that's spot on, because here's the reality. They're going to end up shutting down Skenes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to be in it towards the end of the season. They're just not going to have the bats. And then what they're going to do is they're going to probably get rid of Bednar.
Right.
And then they're not going to have a closer. Mm-hmm. So things are going to just fall apart from there.
Right.
Okay. So we are predicting them. Well, we're not predicting an absolute collapse, because 76 and 86, I mean, you're 10 games under 500.
When you have when you have 3 good pitchers in your staff, you're not going to collapse.
Right.
And now if somebody gets injured or something like that, we could still see the typical Pirates collapse. By the way, Marcy texted me yesterday, because she was in Philadelphia, and she said she was at the Pirates game for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
She said she was having a great time, and then she heard your rant, and then everything went.
Really?
What did she do? Was she listening to the show?
I think maybe before the game. I think maybe after the game, she was like, "Oh, I'm going to see what the Sports Porch guys have to say." And then she heard
good. I love that.
Then she heard your rant.
Yeah.
Because she was interested, like she was pretty happy. Like the Pirates are like, oh,
they won or something.
They had a good game.
Mm-hmm.
She saw a good game, and it was Mother's Day,
and she thought, I'm going to get on there, and I'm going to be a true fan.
Boys are excited, and she heard you. Like if it was coming from me, it would come as no surprise. But because it came from you, I think she was a little bit disheartened.
Well, I hold a lot of weight in many different ways.
Yep.
All right.
Also, keep in mind, we do have one line open, 412-805-7236. We'd love for you to call into the show.
Okay. The Grand Schwabini just made his prediction. The Pirates record at the end of the year will be the same as last year, 76 and 86. That's a good one. Let's try to hold on to that one. Is it written down there?
It's on that piece of paper if you don't throw it out.
I won't. I'm leaving it right there. Catch the Sports Porch podcast. We drop it right after the show on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. And of course, you can subscribe on YouTube. The YouTube handle is at the Sports Porch podcast. So a lot of stuff has been thrown around about this next subject, the Steelers' schedule. The good, the bad, the ugly. We've had a week or so to kind of digest it. I've heard it analyzed.
Here we go.
Front, back, forwards.
Here we go.
Down. Here
we go.
What do you mean?
Here we go.
Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. Here we go.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Here, I'm expecting the Yinzer to come in like, call up Tony, take him to the bar.
I'll tell you what, here's the thing. I've heard a lot of people saying that it's like the hardest schedule in the league or something.
Yeah, it seems to be.
I don't know. Like, here's the thing. every year games seem hard and then they turn out to be easy. It's like, you play the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, it's hard. You play the Jets without Aaron Rodgers, it's easy. I mean, there's all kinds of scenarios like that. Some team that was good last year and in the playoffs, has a bad year and they're 4-12 and, all of a sudden that's not a hard game.
Right.
So, I mean, look, I'd say that the accuracy of how hard a schedule is maybe like 70%.
Okay, well,
I think that's high, actually.
Yeah,
maybe
really? Maybe even less.
Because then you throw in injuries to a team, and the reality is everybody in the Steelers division are all playing the same hard teams. That's
true.
I think the only team that benefits from this schedule is Cincinnati, because they ended up last. They're garbage. They don't play against they play against the tough teams, but the tough teams they get to play
at home, right? Yeah.
So I think that they have a slight advantage. By the way, I don't think Cincinnati's going to do anything again this year. I think they're imploding from within because of.
It's
true because look at their wide receivers. I mean, their wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they still got the big guy,
Jamar Chase. Yeah,
but I mean, all their other receivers now you can double team Chase and not have to worry about anybody.
Is Boyd not there?
No, he's not. They're not.
They lost.
They can't afford to re-sign anybody.
Okay.
Yeah, they lost Mixon.
Yeah, I know that.
And now, I think look, I do really like Joe Burrow, but at the same time, you have to say he's an injury-prone quarterback at this point.
Very much so.
He's been injured in 2 of his 4 seasons or whatever it is. Yeah.
So I still think they're the recipient of the way the schedule's done. Look, the teams that the Steelers play at the end of the year, like the 3 teams they play. In 10 or 11 days, they're probably going to lose those 3 games anyways, because there was Kansas City, Philadelphia, and I think it kicks off with the Ravens in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the reality is if you're going to play those 3 teams, why not play them back to back to back and just see what happens? And you know what? One of those is a Christmas game, so you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Taylor Swift might be there with some outfit on, so that might be fun. But
for you,
is that in Pittsburgh or Kansas?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
no, it's here.
Okay.
Yeah,
that could be a good porch show. Of course, it is Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that doesn't matter to you.
Not really.
My kids are old enough. We're not going to be talking about, the other guy.
There you go.
Not Jesus, but the other guy. The other guy with the beard. Not the baby Jesus.
Yeah, Santa. You talk like little kids are listening.
Well, they might be.
This is not a kid-friendly show.
Dude, you don't want to ruin Christmas for them.
No, I would like to ruin Christmas for all of them.
Keep it for your own.
I've had enough of Christmas. I took great joy in ruining Christmas for my children.
Well, congratulations.
There's a Grinch.
So here's the bottom line on this.
He's a mean one.
No, stop your saying.
Okay, sorry.
The bottom line on the schedule is this: the Steelers have to go at least 6-2 in their first 8 games.
Yeah.
If they don't go 6-2 in their first 8 games, they honestly are risking, going,
under 500,
9-8.
Yeah.
Or,
right.
Worse.
Okay, so most of the scuttlebutt around this is that all of the Yinzers out there are saying, the Steelers got screwed by the NFL. Like,
No.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I heard enough of that I thought to myself, well, could there be something to this? And then I heard
conspiracy theories.
Well, no, this is not a conspiracy theory. I mean, you guys you take everything I say.
Are there aliens involved in this theory?
There might be.
Okay.
I mean, Amazon is involved, and Jeff Bezos does own a space company.
Well, now Netflix is involved.
And Netflix is involved.
Okay.
Big money.
Right.
All right. Give us your conspiracy theory.
let's talk about this. Now, what I heard was an interview somewhere with an NFL insider who understands how they do the schedule. They use, AWS, who said that the schedule, it comes out and then it goes through the commissioner's office and on his desk, and he is able to change things around and say, well, why don't we do this and move this to here? He has the final say. So is it possible that because if I'm looking at it from a purely fair standpoint, and one of the things we have to remember with these schedules and how they have the toughest schedule, well, that's based on last year. And that's something you said earlier, which is, who knows? I mean, one of these teams out of the gate could just end up being bad.
Right.
Like, will Kansas City have another Super Bowl hangover? I doubt it, but it could happen. By the time we play them, maybe they're at 500 or Mahomes is injured or whatever.
Right.
But
the game doesn't matter to them.
If you're the commissioner and you look at that, that 3 games in 10 days against those opponents on the road, Christmas Day, are you saying, yeah, let's just leave it like that? It's not like it's not like he rubber stamps it. He looks at it and analyzes it.
I don't know if he analyzes it to that extent.
He's paid $20 million a year.
I think
don't think he analyzes it. I think he does.
No, I think more what he's doing is he's looking at what are the primetime games.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why you see a lot of TBD.
Right.
In the last 4 to 6 weeks.
Right.
Because they're like, okay, now Saturday opens up because they can play Saturday games. And they basically are playing, I think the Steelers play every day of the week except for like Tuesday and Wednesday. They play Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep.
So it's like, there's no way the commissioner can analyze those games and do that. But he can say, okay, this game I want to say TBD because this could mean something at the end of the year. And we don't want to lock that into that time frame in case, Jeff Bezos wants to put it on Amazon, or if whoever owns Netflix wants to put it on Netflix.
Reed Hastings.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If Reed wants to do it, then maybe they get into a bidding war, and then maybe somebody else comes in and says, "No, I'll do that because now I got it."
I mean, he could have done something like this. He could have said, like, okay, so you've got Kansas City at the Broncos, chief rivals on Christmas. And he was like, hey, man, Denver doesn't need to have a quarterback. Let's do it with, how about Pittsburgh? Because everybody likes watching the Steelers. And they'll probably be in the thick of it. You know what I mean?
So what I'm hearing here is
that's the kind of moves I think he would make.
What I'm hearing here is that they basically, that Roger Goodell, all he has is a little stamp that says TBD on it, and they wheel him out.
Mm-hmm.
And he just goes,
this game, this
blam,
game, this game,
blam,
this game, this
blam.
game, this game, this game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's more behind it. I mean, I know there's 3 other teams that do something similar to the Steelers. I think the Titans are one, and somebody else. They have that gauntlet, but the schedule's not as tough, based on last year. But that being said, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's funny because Paul Zeiss, on the Fan. I did like what he said, and he said, hey, look, it's the schedule. They got to play the games anyway, whether they're playing them up front or they're playing all the division games. That's the other thing. Most of the division games are after November 17th.
Yeah, that's a little bizarre. But, I mean, they're all doing the same thing.
Yeah. Right. Well, and it's also like, I can understand that reasoning. You want to make those games mean something later on. Like you may get off to a bad start, but if your division is kind of treading water, those games are going to mean something because whoever ends up at the top of the division, and the Steelers went 5-1 in the division last year.
Right.
So, that I think plays into the Steelers. That's an advantage for them because they own this division right now.
And the Browns are going to suck this year.
I think you're right.
And the Bengals are going to suck this year.
I actually think you're right about that.
And I don't think the Ravens are going to be as good as they were.
They got Derrick Henry. I'm sorry. I think they're going to be.
How old is Derrick Henry?
I don't care.
I'm just telling you, like old running backs get hurt.
We can have this debate. Games. We can have this debate later when we get closer to the season.
But we will.
And now that we have the schedule, yes, we will have our NFL spectacular.
By the way, I'm not predicting that the Steelers are still going to win the division.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even know 100% because who's going to start at quarterback.
You know who else gets hurt? TJ Watt. He gets hurt a lot, too.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, Russell Wilson gets hurt.
Yeah.
Every NFL player gets hurt.
And they only really have one wide receiver right now. So,
every NFL player
unless you think
gets hurt.
Quez Watkins is going to be your number 2.
He doesn't do it, guys.
Nope, sorry, he doesn't. Neither does Van Jefferson.
Right. I mean, so this is there are holes to fill.
Yeah, there is a dearth at wide receiver there. They need and I'm not convinced that George Pickens could be a number 1 yet. I'm
not either. Yeah, I completely agree with you there. But Najee dropped 10 pounds. So there's that.
I think we all agree he's got the talent to be a number 1 receiver, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's helpful that he has a former Super Bowl winning quarterback throwing.
That makes a difference.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
Maybe if he can get it close, George can go up and grab it with one hand and, do his toe dance.
Yeah, we'll see. So catch the Sports Porch podcast right after the show. We drop it on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. I think there's somebody in the house, and I think he is holy.
Amen.
We have Hockey Jesus here. You can follow Hockey Jesus on YouTube at the Sports Porch podcast. He is currently in the middle of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and Hockey Jesus preaches after every round, during the playoffs. But during the regular season, he preaches on the podcast after every single Penguins game, which is quite a feat. That actually puts him up. I think you're a member of the team now. Like, you're actually a member of the Penguins.
I definitely am.
Yeah.
And I'm glad.
We need to contact them and get a media.
Well, I'm glad they didn't fire me.
You can make that
when
happen?
They fired everybody else in the front office. No. About 4 weeks ago. So,
well, they didn't fire you.
No. So I'm still part of the team. And it's
Joy to the world.
Good to be part of that non-paying part of
come. Let earth receive her king.
You've been brushing up, Schwaber. You've been brushing
Let
up.
every heart prepare room.
Okay, let's prepare for
Is that how that goes?
Here comes the Hockey Jesus.
I had the lyrics up.
All right. So here's what we want, Hockey Jesus.
Right,
we want a condensed version of, because you did a Hockey. What we want to do is tell everybody that
if
Hockey Jesus,
the full version,
if you want the full version, he did one yesterday on YouTube. You can go there. It's about 17 minutes long, I think.
That's about right.
And covers the entire round 2 of the playoffs. It's always a very, I've learned so much not being a hockey fan, and now the last couple of years, like, I understand so much more about the game now than I did a couple of years ago.
Poke check.
It's a good thing. What'd you say?
Poke check.
Check.
Poke check, right.
First of all, I thought that was a dirty word.
Do you know
and
what
then
that is?
I realized it was a hockey word.
Yep.
What is a poke check?
It's when you go like that.
When you poke them?
When you poke with your stick.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
See, I knew that, but I did think it was a dirty word at first.
Well,
that's our group text. There's lots of dirty words.
You're still allowed to poke check, even if you're not on the ice. But that's up to you.
Yeah.
Here's what's going on
your life
in the
in your own
playoffs.
hands.
Here's what's amazing. We're only halfway through the Stanley Cup playoffs. That is an absolute amazing thing. I know there are only like 4 teams left. But still, they're only won half the amount of games they have to win the Stanley Cup at this point. And actually, Vancouver's playing Edmonton tonight to finalize that 4 spot. I think Edmonton's probably going to beat Vancouver, because Vancouver, unfortunately, and I didn't mention this last night because I didn't know. I found out this morning that Brock Besser is not going to be playing. He's probably their best player, all around best player. Pettersson's probably their number 1 talent, but he hasn't really showed up this series. And without them, boy, I don't see, unless I just can't believe that Tocchet's going to have this team up. By the way, Edmonton has like 5 of their players in the top 10 scoring, which is
in the playoffs.
In the playoffs,
right? Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. And Connor McDavid only has 2 goals.
Wow,
which is ridiculous. But he's got like
19 assists,
26.
Yeah.
Well, everybody seems to want the Oilers to win this year, so McDavid, finally gets a cup.
Yeah, but I don't think, put it this way, I don't know how they get through Dallas. Dallas was my pick to win the whole Stanley Cup, and they're looking really solid. I get what happened to Colorado. Colorado had problems with Nichushkin, unfortunately, and his substance issues, so he's going to be out for 6 months. By the way, they're probably going to cut him.
That's Nichushkin for you.
Yeah, and remember, they played the whole year without Landeskog. I don't know. How
well,
that's
Landeskog.
That's Landeskog.
Yeah. It's crazy.
He's their freaking captain. Anyway, so, but no, I really love the way Dallas is playing now. In the East, this Florida-New York Rangers series is going to be ridiculous.
Probably go 7. I could see it.
I think, I mentioned this last night. I think if it goes 7, it's going to be a lot of 3-2, 4-3 games, which it won't make for great hockey. But I actually think that Florida can come out and just just smack the Rangers in the face. I don't think they've played a team like this yet, and I don't think they're ready for it. They rely too much on their power play, the Rangers do. If their power play gets going, they could easily beat Florida, but I just don't see that happening. Florida, to me, is a Dallas Stars light team, but with more experience. So I think it would be really interesting to see those two in the finals. That's what I'm rooting for.
Okay.
But then again, I hate the Rangers, so I would never root for the Rangers to beat anybody.
If somebody paid you $1 million to root for the Rangers, would you?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a million freaking dollars.
I would, but I don't know how well I'd be able to root for
No. You're getting $1 million. You got to go to the game. Yeah. You got to put on a Rangers shirt, the most popular player. You've got to, during every break where they play the music, you got to
all
dance.
All you're doing is faking it.
Yeah, you got to dance to the music, though, at the breaks. You know, like that guy who's like
runs down the steps.
Money. Yeah, you got to do
every arena's got a guy who runs down the steps like an idiot now.
Yeah.
He's a plant.
Right.
They're all plants.
Right. How much money would it take for you to be that guy at the Garden during a regular season Rangers game?
I honestly don't think I could do it like wholeheartedly.
This guy has no interest in money at all.
I don't think I could do it.
You don't?
No,
really?
I don't.
If you were like, as soon as I walk out of here, I'm getting a suitcase with $1 million tax free.
I would,
and I can go immediately to the casinos and the clubs and just make it rain.
I don't think
I would do it.
I honestly don't think I could do it.
Are you serious? I could do it. I would make it rain like a motherfucker.
I would try, but I think I would get. I like it would be like if they put the fake detector on you. It would be like fake.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. It's like you're kind of like the silent voodoo doll.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, you're basically trying to screw it up for them.
Yeah.
But as you're rooting for them.
The silent voodoo doll.
No.
That's great. I love it.
If you're a real fan, people can see through that.
Did you just come up with that?
I just came up with it.
You're the silent voodoo doll.
What are you the silent voodoo doll for?
Yeah. God.
The Rangers.
That's fantastic.
Compared to the loud voodoo doll.
That's what's going on.
What does a loud voodoo doll do?
Talks.
Yeah. All right. Listen, we can catch you can catch the most recent analysis of Hockey Jesus on YouTube at the Sports Porch Podcast. I encourage you subscribe, follow, share, comment, and the next one will be HJ.
I don't know, because the reality is the first game I think is Wednesday. That's what I was just about to look up. The game is Wednesday, so I might drop one tomorrow just because
preview of the Final Four.
Oilers will probably be in, so, and I didn't really give them a lot of verbiage yesterday, love. So I think I need to look at that Western Conference a little bit tighter, and after that they play every night. So,
okay.
But if I don't drop it, then I promise Sunday night, because Sunday there's an afternoon game at 3:00. No, I can't do it Sunday night.
All right. Well, you can work out your schedule when we're not on the air.
I'll be planting corn.
All right.
Planting
I'm
corn
not touching
Sunday
that
night?
one. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That's why he can't come to our little soiree.
Yeah. I'm planting corn.
He's planting corn because he's going to start making whiskey.
Oh,
I mean, that ought to help.
I'm going to turn water in the whiskey.
Yeah.
You're not making it
like a good savior.
Hockey Jesus doesn't turn water into wine. He turns water into whiskey. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hockey Jesus preaches on the podcast, on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your freaking podcast. Okay, now it's time to Stump the Yinzer. And the way we stump the Yinzer, our resident Yinzer is in the room with me right now. It is Hockey Jesus, our resident Yinzer.
Let me get out the Google.
No, put the Google away. Put it away. Now, here's how we stump the Yinzer, because I messed it up the first time last week. Yeah,
sure did.
So we're going to ask Yinzer, Hockey Jesus, a question, sports-related Pittsburgh question.
Mm-hmm.
If he can't answer the question or gets it wrong, then our resident
Grand Schwabini,
the Grand Schwabini, is going to try and answer it. And if you successfully answer it, what happens? We haven't determined that.
I get an egg roll?
He becomes the Yinzer.
Don't ruin. Yes, then you become a Yinzer, which is it's a lifelong dream of yours. I know.
Sure.
Well, I mean, you moved here. You lived in Philly. You moved to Chicago. Then you moved to Pittsburgh. To me, that screams I want to be a Yinzer because nobody goes in that direction.
Yeah, right.
They go in the other direction.
Except for,
and you married a Yinzer.
I sure did.
You did. You did. And she's a sweetheart. And I'm not gonna.
Don't make fun of her voice again.
I'm not going to do that.
You're like you're
Why don't you pull out your mystery book?
Okay, Mark. I don't have to. Pull out
my
the
mom, not my wife.
He memorized it.
I think you married your mom. Anyway, Stump the Yinzer.
Don't we all?
When the Steelers won their 4th Super Bowl, they broke the record of 3 set by which team?
3.
Yeah.
At the time?
Yes.
Dallas Cowboys.
That would be stumped. Wrong.
How about Green Bay Packers?
No, it has to be San Francisco.
Nope. I'm gonna put the answer up here right now.
Chiefs?
No.
No.
Chiefs.
They broke the record set.
Washington Redskins.
Nope. They didn't win a Super Bowl in the 70s. They broke the record that was set by the Steelers. They're the first team to win 3.
Oh, come on.
Come
That
on.
was stupid.
How do you not know that?
That was a trick question.
I thought there was
in the book.
There was another team that had 3, and it was the Dallas Cowboys.
No.
You said another team.
No.
You didn't say the same team.
No. I said I read this when the Steelers won their 4th Super Bowl, they broke the record of 3 set by which team? The Steelers. Okay. You're just pissed because you can't be the Yinzer.
No, I just think it's an idiotic question.
It is stupid.
It's a really dumb
All right,
question.
you want to do one more? I'll just pick one.
Yeah, just
all right.
Not baseball.
All right.
F. Sidburn.
Okay, the first game at Three Rivers Stadium was in what year?
That's easy, 1970.
All right, you're
easy.
Yeah, 1970.
Okay,
Way too easy, yeah.
I tossed you a softball.
That was a softball.
Like two bad segments in a row. We got to really bring it next week.
Yes. Okay, let's move on to here it is.
Fight.
It's time now.
Taste the
Taste the
biscuit.
biscuit.
Taste the
Goodness of the biscuit.
Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce.
Oh yeah.
Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
All right. This is the Trader Joe's. Actually, Steve coined a new phrase, Trader Joe's snack time.
Snack time.
This is Trader Joe's snack time.
I like it. Snack time.
First, I have to say that Trader Joe's does not officially sponsor the show, but I did ask for permission to do this. I work at Trader Joe's. Great place to work, great people, great food. This week's product of the week, or snack time product, is
chicken spring roll.
Yeah. Trader Joe's.
Had these.
Oh, you have?
Oh, yeah.
You have?
Meat
Okay.
with basil, garlic, and ginger.
I've had.
Yeah. This is when your fingers first pinch the outside wrapper of a spring roll, the texture is the tell.
Ooh.
Soggy sides foreshadow watered down filling. Crisp sides that crackle with your touch hold the promise of a big, balanced, boastful bite.
Just give me one of those rolls.
That's right from the
I have to say, I'm more an egg roll guy than a spring roll guy.
Okay.
I feel the same way.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel
I'm
like
more of an egg roll than a spring roll.
I feel like this is going to be subpar.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. I'll take mine, and my lovely wife, the Pittsburgh Property Diva, prepared these for us. So there's mine. You go ahead and take yours, and then I'm just going to get started. This is just soy sauce. This is, by the way, just, it'll be okay, Schwaber. You'll be all right.
Just keep one of them.
I don't like, right. Yeah. Okay. So let's see.
All right. Let's let the people at home see what we're eating here. Looks pretty big.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
there you go. You see
there
the
you go.
cross section there.
This is my first time having these.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't don't know if I remember what they taste like. It's been a while. Max liked to get these when we go to Trader Joe's.
I did not realize that. That's cool. They do sell a lot of them. The question is, when you're done with anything, does it leave you hungry for a little more?
You wish you had another one.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. And I do.
The flavor is different than I remember. I'm tasting more ginger in this.
Yeah, I taste a little ginger.
Yeah, what do you think there, Mark?
I'd say it was okay.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big spring roll guy.
Yeah.
It feels like you're getting cheated out. With an egg roll, it's like
well, you
substance.
Mark likes a bigger bite. That's what he likes.
He likes to get his whole mouth around it.
Yeah, and he also liked all the fried chicken in my fridge before the show. So
well, yeah. So he's already mostly full.
Yeah.
I think it's exactly what an egg roll is not. It's missing some pork and some shrimp.
Well, it's called a chicken spring roll. So
which is, less than what I like. But I mean, it's tasty.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's the kind of thing where, my wife brought it home. I would eat it. I'd be marginally satisfied. And then I would have no interest in getting it again. But if, let's say, a year or two went by, I'd be like, all right, let's eat them again.
Imagine you're a college student and these are the only thing in your freezer or in your refrigerator. You just pop them in the oven. You get them in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't have to prep anything.
No.
You're eating them all and you're like, this is good.
These were made.
That's exactly what it is. It's sort of like a, worst case scenario. Like there's nothing to eat. Let's see what's in the freezer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, these are good.
Yeah, I don't feel like making anything. What can I throw in the microwave, in the toaster oven?
Yeah, these were made in the air fryer. So 16 minutes at 400 degrees. My first thought is they taste good, exactly the way I expected them to taste. There were no surprises, and I could probably eat 3 or 4 of them.
The only surprise to me was lack of enjoyment.
Yep. Jesus Christ.
I guess snack time's over.
Yes. Snack time is over. Oops. That was the wrong song, boys.
Snack time's over.
There you go. But thank you to Trader Joe's for giving us permission to do this. We had fun with it.
Taste the
goodness of the biscuit.
Snack time is over.
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst time of the show.
It's the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with that honey sauce. You know you do.
Or your spring roll.
Honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
Oh, my God. All right, let's go to the last segment of our show tonight, something that is near and dear to our heart. This is what we're watching. Before we go there, I just want to remind everybody we're going to drop the podcast right after the show. So if you came in late, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes after the show, live, you can go to the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts, and you can listen to the show and subscribe, leave us a review. That would be great. What we're watching tonight, we only have 2, and I'll tell you why. The reason we only have 2 is that Steve took mine. So,
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I knew it. I told you. Yeah. I said I would be surprised if one of you didn't also watch.
Yeah, I watched it this week. Well, we'll see what happens.
It's a documentary.
So it'll be a joint. It'll be a joint review.
And since I brought up Steve's, we'll do his first.
All right.
Steve watched
Ashley Madison, Sex, Lies, and Scandal.
Very nice. On Netflix. Yeah.
On Netflix. That's right. Mark, do you remember Ashley Madison?
I remember the name, but I don't remember what it was about.
Were you ever on Ashley Madison? Or are you pleading the fifth?
I was definitely not on Ashley Madison. What is it? A hooker website of some sort? What do they call it? Like an escort website service?
It's a meet and greet. Only it is an escort service for those who are already married.
Oh boy!
Remember this?
No. Wait.
Now I remember.
It was not an escort service. What it was a dating website.
Mm-hmm.
They're
for people that are
let me get
already
the picture
married.
off here.
Yeah. People who are already married.
Their marketing said life is short, have an affair. It's for people that wanted to have an affair.
Oh boy.
They didn't hire escorts and give them out.
We
got to make that
did
clear.
They not?
Well, I get where you're going, so go ahead. It's your
that's
deal.
Part of this, that's part of the scandal part.
Seems like a sex site to me.
Well, I mean.
Well, yeah. So basically, they showed, I think there were 3 different couples who were on this for various reasons. Like one was actually a Christian YouTuber. Right?
yeah, it was funny.
Of course, right. Laugh. Insert laugh here, right?
He was devastated.
And he was devastated because, he said he was just on the site and he stupidly, gave him his real name and,
real picture.
And he wasn't out there looking for sex. He was just,
an emotional relationship.
He needed validation. By the way, his wife was smoking hot.
Oh, boy.
And
she was. She was really good looking.
And was willing to do whatever he wanted for her. She was like, I'll stay at home. I'll have kids.
She was a Christian woman who was submissive to her husband and whatever his needs were.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Actually, that is.
It was.
Yeah.
Like of the three couples, I felt most bad for this woman.
For her, yeah.
Because it wasn't like she was just being submissive, like, I'm just going to stay home and raise kids. Like, she would have worked. She would have done whatever he wanted.
She specifically talked about the fact that whenever he basically wanted sex, she was there to provide.
Yeah.
Like she was
and he even said,
which I know,
he even said,
none of us are familiar with. Anyway.
So she didn't realize that he was a total loser.
Oh, no. She had no idea.
No clue.
And he even said, like, I'm taking this to my grave. I'm never telling her I was on this website. And then, of course, they dumped all the data.
Yeah. They got hacked.
And by the way, between the time that happened and they put these YouTube videos up that went viral.
Like about how to raise a family. They became YouTube stars, millions of views.
So
in between that time.
Right.
And it's a Christian family.
This is our family story.
Right.
But the thing about it is, though, there was a point where he felt ashamed about what he was doing. We got to give him a little bit of a defense.
No, he did.
He got on the site for excitement and he got involved. And then his YouTube family videos blew up and he got really, really popular. And he said, you want to know what? I just forgot about the profile. I stopped doing it. I decided I'm going to take this to my grave with me. I felt a lot of shame, but I'm going to focus on my family. So he made the decision to do that. But then Ashley Madison got hacked.
Right.
So you're talking like when he finally had to admit it, it was years later. So he hadn't really done anything in years.
It was a year
or two later. Yeah. So then it came out that it was like strip clubs and strippers and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So we don't want to ruin that part for everybody.
No.
Yeah.
No. And then there was another couple who actually they were both okay with being on the website. And going out there for the sex they wanted, because they're like, I'm not doing that.
They had an open.
If you want to go get it out of.
They were an open marriage. They had an open marriage. They talked about,
and that's kind of like what Ashley Madison was looking for,
right. Yeah.
And then unfortunately, the third couple was an older man and his wife, who were kind of having problems.
And he was a priest. Or he was a deacon in the church.
He was a deacon in the church, and
Christians.
Nobody knew anything. And then I think he came clean, but he was ashamed by it, and he actually killed himself.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
That's not good.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
And his wife clearly was grieving about it, and she kind of had a very positive attitude.
But she didn't blame him. She didn't blame Ashley Madison.
She didn't.
She blamed him.
Yeah,
because what happened is
what you should do.
The data dump. Yeah. She didn't know about it. She had thoughts about what's going on here. He seems a little distant. And then she was like, well, look, if he's doing it, he's doing it. What am I going to do? I love him. I'm going to focus on the marriage.
Right.
And then they dumped the data, and the church found out that he was on it.
Right.
And so they called him in and said, sorry, you're fired.
Right.
And she didn't know any of this.
He resigned because
he was
embarrassed.
Yeah. And then she came home and right. But the interesting part, and we'll leave it at this because we don't want to tell the whole story, but the owner or the creator,
Noel
Biederman or something. Yeah. He held himself out as a family man. His wife was actually one of the women on the billboards that was like doing the and he would go on the talk shows and she'd be like, Well, yeah, I don't care that he runs this site. We have a strong marriage, strong family, kids. It's not what we choose to do, but, there are people out there that are going to do it. So this is going to be a safe place for them to do it, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the data dump, they're like, if you don't shut this site down right now, we're dumping everything. And they dumped his emails.
Yeah,
and it turns out he was a pretty naughty boy.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, they never found out who stole all the data.
No, these people.
They brought in experts, like the company brought in experts, and the experts kind of thought maybe it was this, that, or the other thing. I'm not going to give it away, but they never really proved anything. The police never proved anything.
Yeah.
These people never proved anything. And by the way, if you still want to, you can sign up for Ashley Madison too.
Yeah.
It's still a real site.
That's why we're talking with you about it, Mark.
That's why I asked.
That's why we brought it up, just in case.
Oh, by the way, they're much more secure now.
Yeah, supposedly. Yeah, their security was a sham. Okay, Ashley Madison.
Really three episodes, really.
Yeah, it's a quick watch. It was a quick watch, exactly. The Grand Schwabini is watching something. I believe it's in the theaters, correct?
It's in the theaters.
The Fall Guy. Isn't that Lee Majors?
No.
Is it a remake of the Lee Majors? No.
Oh, yeah. He was the Fall Guy.
I don't know if it's a remake, but I just saw it as a new film.
That was a show. The Fall Guy
show.
With Lee Majors.
This is a movie.
Yeah, well, this is a movie.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
So it's with Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling, and I thought it was actually pretty good. I mean, I saw the coming attractions for it, and I kind of thought, this looks like it could be corny. It was actually good. I mean, I think you'd like it.
Well, I like Emily Blunt.
Yeah, I mean,
to be blunt,
it was good. It was just like, it was just,
let me guess.
It was good.
He's a stunt performer.
Yes.
He gets into some trouble.
Kind of.
He rescues a blonde who's pretty hot.
It's part of it.
They get in some more trouble.
And they live happily ever after.
There's a little bit of humor in it.
Yep, some action.
Some funny things with some action.
Yeah.
Yep. They fall in love. They get mad at each other. Then they reconvene their relationship at the end, and everybody.
You got a pretty good handle on it.
Who's the bad guy? There's got to be a bad guy in this.
The bad guy is
like the producer.
So Ryan Gosling is the stunt double of like a star. Like it would be like a Tom Cruise or something.
That's what Lee Majors was.
But the star
kind of.
But the star isn't anybody you know. Yeah. But he's the bad guy in it.
Okay. Who plays the star?
That's what I'm saying. You don't know.
It really isn't anybody we know.
Right. It's like a first role, I think, or something like that. But
thanks so much for that.
But yeah, look, it was like it was kind of a blend of an action and a rom-com all wrapped up in one. And to me, this was one that could fall under the category of the magic of the movies.
Oh, my God.
You just go to the movies and you're just looking for a good time. You're entertained throughout. And at the end, you were like, I thought that was good.
So let me ask you this. You go to the movies. You're looking for a good time.
Yes.
Did you go alone?
I went with my wife.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. This looks like something Amy would.
Yeah, this was
usually he goes. I was looking for that.
No,
I went alone.
I'm not.
No.
This is an Amy.
Yeah, this is one I wouldn't have gone to alone.
Okay.
I mean,
alone is more like horror.
Yeah.
Dark action.
Yeah.
Science fiction.
Dude, it's Ryan Gosling. She went for Ryan Gosling.
Right.
Did she really?
Oh yeah, of course.
Well,
my wife would have.
I mean, everybody likes Emily Blunt, and nothing wrong with Ryan Gosling.
Really? What are you really telling us?
I'm just saying he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind switching place.
Wait, that's another movie. Another movie for another.
Oh, good Lord.
We ran out of time.
I don't even know if that came in because the music gets so loud. Listen, thanks guys for watching the Sports Porch all over the world on Facebook, YouTube, X, and LinkedIn. And of course, listening to the Sports Porch on Radio PGH or after we drop the podcast right after the show on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. Any last words, boys?
Yeah, come back next week. We're going to talk some Cam Heyward.
Oh, yeah, Cam Heyward. Of course. Well, we might have more news then. So I am your technical director, and I am out. Jablonski.